Kia ora koutou, Reese from QuickSense here, and today we're looking at simplifying fractions. Now the best way to simplify fractions is using something called prime factorization, and this is always going to work. It requires a little bit more effort to begin with, but you will always get the right answer. The easiest way, though not the best, the easiest way is to look at two numbers and see the common factors. Now, that's quite a hard thing to do, and it takes a little bit of time. So before we can do that, we need to spend a little bit of time doing prime factorization. So what is that? Well, we take these two numbers here, 36 and 132, and we ask, what are the prime numbers that multiply together to give me that number? So we start off with the simplest prime number, which is 2, and ask, can 2 go into this? If it's an even number, then absolutely. If it's odd, then we move on to the next one. 2 goes into 36, 18 times. Now I ask the next question. What about 18? Can 2 go into 18? Yeah, you bet. It goes into it 9 times. 9 is an odd number. 2 doesn't go into it. What about 3? Yeah, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Now this means once I've hit a prime number at the end that I can't go down any further. Right, 36 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And there's no other way that I can write this using prime numbers. This is going to be really helpful in a moment. 132. Well, this is a bigger number, but that's okay. We can start by dividing by 2 because I can see that. I can see it's a even number. So 2 times what? Well, I know that 60 times 2 is 120. So I just need 12. Well, what's 12 times 2? Or what's 12 divided by 2? That's the difference there. 6 times 2 is 12. So we're looking at 60 plus 6, so 66. Ask the question again. Well, that's another even number. So that's 2 times 33. 33 is not an even number. 33, well, 3 goes into it. 3 goes into 30 10 times. It goes into 33 11 times. And 11's a prime number. So I'm done. Right? I've got my prime factorization of these two numbers here. And I just use really simple division for this. Really simple division. So let's put this all together. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 on the top. 2 times 2 times 3 times 11 on the bottom. 2 divided by 2, well, that's 1. They cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. They cancel out. Can you see I'm just looking for the common factors on the top and the bottom? And it leaves me with this. 3 over 11. So the simplest form of this, using prime factorization, is 3 11ths. This next question's asking us to do a couple of different things with fractions. So the first thing it's asking us to do is to multiply fractions together. So well, what does that mean? Well, a over b times x over y is equal to ax over by. I just multiply the top and then I multiply the bottom. Now the next thing is this plus. So let's just keep this over here. When I add fractions, the denominator, so the number on the bottom, the denominator must be equal. I have to add or subtract like things. So let's do this multiplication first. We've got bedmass, right? So 21 times 3 over 5 times 4. 21 times 3, well, that's 20 times 3 is 60, plus 1 times 3, which is 63. 5 times 4, that's 20. Now, can I simplify this? Right? Because it's always a good idea to ask yourself that question as you're going along. It's not obvious to me that I can, actually. These aren't both odd numbers, or these aren't both even numbers, so I don't have that nice simple simplification there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to simplify at the end. Moving along. To add these together, the denominator must be equal. So I have to get these things to be equal. Well, how do I do that? The easiest thing is to find a common multiple. And to find a common multiple, I times them together. So 3 lots of 63 and 20 plus 20 lots of 1 and 3. So that's 3 times 63 over 3 times 20 is 60 plus 20 times 1 is 20 over 60. So 3 times 63. Well, 3 times 6 is 18. So 60 is going to be 180. 3 times 3 is 9. So 189 over 60 plus 20 over 60. I've got the bottoms the same now. So let's move up here. This is going to be 189 plus 20 over 60, which is 209 over 60. Okay, so here's what I want to do now. I want to see if there are any common factors between 209 and 60. So, can I divide 209 by 2? No, right? It's an odd number. I cannot do that. Right, well, what about 3? No, it does not go into that. Well, the next is 5. Well, 5 only goes into 5s and 10s, so that definitely doesn't work. The next prime number is 7. 209 divided by 7. That doesn't work either. The next one is 11. Perfect. Well, that works there. So 209 is equal to 11 times 19. That's not a prime number. But neither 11 nor 19 is a factor of 60. What this means is that 209, let's do that over here. So therefore, that's what these 3 dots mean, 209 over 60 is the simplest form as an improper fraction. And if we want to write this as a proper fraction, well, 60 goes into that, and 180, so 3 times. And if we have 180, well, what's 209 take away 180? Well, that's 29/60ths.